It is colder. White man's ice is colder. They can afford better ice. This segment, and this is a segment in something larger, I'm mainly just trying to boy, this is kind of hard to explain. To just get you to think about being less petty and less gender tribal or gender bias. I'm just going to put this out there for what it is and why it should be a lesson in what reality is. When you face reality, just like the AA meeting sayings about, first you got to realize you have a problem, and then the nature of that problem. I am not trying to overestimate the opinions on Meghan Markle. That she was married before might offer some heart encouragement because she was able to pull a prince. She's a good-looking woman. Meghan Markle's hot. She's Meghan. She's banging to where the prince was like, "You were married before. I don't care. I still want to smash that." Yeah. But the racial thing, understand that the only reason why this is a big deal is because the white man can afford better ice. Because Britain I think they took the triple jump in the Olympics. They had one of the coldest empires ever. They've got, next to America, they might have the best musicians on the world stage. Britain is established. Britain has power. People are trying to get to Britain to live, to set up. Even though I know people that have gone to Botswana. Key. So my point is, if you're at all celebrating, be honest about why. It's because the white man's ice is colder. Because Ruth Williams I don't care if she is albino, classified as white. Her homeliness is something that any woman ought to be able to vibe off of more, because she pulled a prince and she was basic. Not Meghan Markle looks. She was basic. And neither one of these princes are anything out of Disney. Disney, they like to have the either the blonde or the tall, dark, and handsome, mostly albino dude, which is just goes to show you how nuts we are, but I call it as it is. So they don't have the ginger dude. I don't know if he's ever really been the prince in a Disney cartoon. Considering that I have never seen a melanated prince outside of maybe Aladdin in a Disney cartoon. I'm just saying how the culture goes. Neither one of these dudes are ideal. Even for y'all that like melanated men, Seretse is kind of average Joe when it comes to melanated men. But he was a prince, and he pulled basic, middle class, somewhat homely albino classified as white woman. Or I should say, She pulled him. See, I'm caught in it too, most likely. Because let's be honest about what it is. And this happened back when race relations were much worse in their overt manner. Behind the scenes, a lot hasn't changed. When it comes to money, I'd say even some of the overt stuff has changed since, I think this was like the 20s, 30s. This is a African prince of a nation, not, and not a small nation, of a, decent sized nation. Actually, I gotta look at Botswana on the map. I'm either picturing Botswana as being close to the size of Britain or very tiny. Because I know where it's at, but I don't really look at it too often. Now, let's see if it's decent size. Botswana is a decent sized country. I'm getting it confused with that not Lesotho, but there's I don't know what I was getting confused by. It's big. This is a prince who later became president of a nation. So why is Meghan Markle a deal in 2017 when you already had a real interracial relationship, not some quadroon, quintuple? Basically, I would consider Meghan Markle to be an albino chick by any other standards, except for the classification of the white race, which claims albinism from nature in the way it's classified. So I'm just laying that out. Let's be honest about what this is. This has already been done, and it was done par excellence when it was an African nation and basic albino classified as white woman. Now you have a Octoroon or whatever, and whatever you want to call Meghan Markle. The fact that she's been married should not be offset by the fact that Ruth Williams was hella plain. This was a very mediocre looking white woman. So I would say, ladies, I don't care if you want to take anything and be heartened by it. Be heartened by the basic chick, not the octoroon, quadriloon, or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called when you're like a quarter melanated. But, you just call her Italian. How about that? Because who's not smashing Meghan Markle? Come on now. She's charming as I don't know what. And cute. And you can say that her slight mixture does that thing for her. Well, shit, that's true about damn near all people who are classified as white. They got a little bit of foreignity, adding a little exotic texture to them. That's true, period. So, I'm just saying, take it for what you want. If it puts a smile on your face, I'm not going to be petty. I'm glad for you. I'm happy. I'm not calling out hypocrites, and we need to get off that. Stop exposing people who ain't really doing nothing that complex. You know what I mean? It's not interesting. It doesn't make for good YouTube. So don't do it. But I will say, be honest. Let's be honest that Meghan Markle's attention is basically the product of the ice being colder, of that saying being true. Because what has Botswana ever won in the Olympics?